my two moms and my sister and her little boy and my cousin we all went into town to visit the community, the place where I used to live, and to do some shopping. Doe community is the community in which I was born, and that's where I lived the first 7 years of my life, except when we had to escape into the interior when the war was happening. So we went and we visited there on Monday, and it was really interesting to go back, and I was so amazed at how small everything was. Like when I was there, everything seemed so big. Now everything is so small, but things have changed so much since I've been there. It would have been 16 years ago. So we went into Doe community and we were trying to find the house that I used to live in. And I'm standing on this road, and then I realized that the road that I'm standing on when I was there was dirt road. It was like this dirt road, and we were out in the country. And now we're in the middle of the city. It's just jam-packed. There's cars and houses just everywhere. I could not believe it. And we walked for a while to where I used to live, to the house I used to live. And it's basically like this swamp. And there are all these houses in there, and between there, it's water, and you just walk on these little board paths between the houses, and people sitting in their houses in dark rooms, and it's just depressing. So we were walking for a while, and then we came to a spot where the bridge stopped, and there was just water, and looked like people were walking in the water around this one building, and we didn't really want to do that. They have their showers and stuff out there, and so all their gray water and who knows what else go, and it just sits there. It's just a breeding ground for mosquitoes and sickness. It's just horrible. And so there was a school, and because my uncle said the house was right behind that school there, but the school didn't want us to walk through the school, so we had to go back out on the road all the way around the next block and walk back in another way. And we finally got to the house, the actual house that I used to live in before I was adopted. And I was amazed. The thing was so small. I couldn't believe it. And I walked into the room that my family would have shared, which would have been me, my mom, my dad, and my two sisters. We would have shared that room. And it was so small. I just could not believe it. It was really cool because when we got into Doe community in my neighborhood there were people who still remembered me and would come. When we got close to my house, the neighbors around there came out and were welcoming me, and they remembered me to call me by my African name and exclaiming on how much I had grown. And then we went to when we got to our house there.
Thank you. Yeah. Mary can't find them again now. Mary, they call you. Yeah.
When we lived there, that water was not there. I asked my uncle, and he said the reason why the water is there is because they built a bunch of big houses around in that block, the drainage system, is not good, and so all this water is just standing there. And right now it's rainy season, so in dry season, he said it's not like that. But just out on the front porch is just water. Your front yard is just water with green algae growing in it. And they have these. Sometimes there are rocks and sometimes there are tires and step on. It's just all around you. I mean, how would you be able to live in something like that? I'm just so glad we don't live there. My mom doesn't live there. My sisters, they don't live there. It's just my uncle and his children still live there. When I lived there, all the other houses that are around were not there. It was pretty empty. This is the house. This is the house. This is the living place. This is the house you're living. After visiting the community that I lived in, we met my uncle and my cousin, who was like my little cousin. Like, we were best friends. We always played together. Now she's bigger than me. We met them there and took a picture together for the first time. And then on our way out of the community, we went to find a place to eat, and we crossed the bridge that I remember during the war, when the rebels were like right behind us. There was a huge crowd of people just escaping to try to get out of Monrovia, and we went over this bridge, and it was so full packed of people. The bridge was that people were trampling over each other. There were people falling off the bridge, and my dad had me on his shoulders so I could kind of see over the heads of people what was going on, and I saw people falling over into the water. And my dad said yes, he remembered that too, and that during that time we lost my two sisters. And once we crossed the bridge, we found them then, and then my dad, after getting us across the bridge, wanted to go back to the other side. And I asked him, why did you want to go back to the other side? And he said he doesn't know. He said he was confused. He said during that time there was so much confusion, he didn't know what he was doing. Everybody was just in fear because they would hear the gunshots right behind us, and it was just a very fearful time. Then we stopped and got pizza at this restaurant, and it was my mom's first time eating pizza, and she liked it. And she saved some for her mom, my grandma, when we got home. So we ended the day with my sister and cousin coming over and helping me make cookies. I was teaching them. So we made cookies for the family gathering that we were going to have the next day.